Welcome to another episode of the Read Pile. Today I've got a trade of Ratchet and Clank, surprisingly put out by DC. I think they printed this in 2011 from a 6-issue series in 2010. Yeah, if you see way down there, 2011. So this is fairly old. It takes place after the PS3 games, so Future and Tools of Destruction and A Crack in Time. It's obviously well before the PS5 era game, the Into the Nexus. My wife and I are big fans of the Ratchet and Clank series. I don't know at what point I figured out that there was a comic series, because I don't think I was buying comics in 2010. I know I restarted in a big way near the end of 2011, because that's when New 52 and 90W Ninja Turtles started, so I must have bought this well after the fact. But I have read this. I read it years ago, and I enjoyed it. But this... I should talk about how I've organized some of my comics. Most of it is shelved by theme, I'll say. Connective tissue that really only I understand. So someone else walking in here probably wouldn't understand my organization. But this wound up on a miscellaneous shelf because I couldn't figure out what else it would go with. I believe the only other video game adaptation comic I have is Dead Space, and that these two wouldn't make any sense next to each other, so it wound up on my miscellaneous shelf, and that has been where I've been focusing this reread, this decision-making process of whether to keep or let go, and I've been making great progress on that recently. There's stuff that I've been reading recently that I'm letting go of that is not getting videos. And I ran across this, I remembered enjoying it, gave it a reread. It's still a lot of fun. The only problem I have with this is it now makes me want to replay the games. Because, so Fixman is the writer of several Ratchet and Clank games. I think he wrote the PS3 era games, but he was a Ratchet and Clank writer for an entire era of games, and so it's really nice. It brings back characters from those games. It references other characters that aren't seen, but most importantly is it has the voice of Ratchet and Clank, of Qwark, of really all of the main characters. I read this and I can hear their voices in my head. None of this seems out of place. It all seems accurate. It remains a lot of fun. The story here is there is someone stealing planets. Their intent is to make their own. He uses the word... A lot of the characters use the word galaxy, and I think there's a question of scale, because he steals maybe a half dozen planets, and I'm like, you're building a solar system. You're not building a galaxy. I don't know how long you're going to be at this, but... yeah, you're building a solar system. So, this is also where, here, Qwark has actually been elected president, which is pretty wild. But here he's talking about losing a planet. So planets initially go missing. It turns out they're being stolen at this point. Only 4 are gone missing. So that's well short of a galaxy, but a good beginning for a solar system. Anyway, planets are going missing. Qwark asks Ratchet to investigate. Ratchet says no, but of course he winds up doing it anyway. Ratchet is a little bit tired from saving the universe. He just wants to be left alone to fail to repair some cars. That's what this scene here is about. It's a lot of fun though. And, you know, misadventure happens. So the art fits the style of the games. I mean, everyone looks the part. If anything, Ratchet is a little bit smoother than I expect. One of the things I like about the game is Ratchet, whenever you get a close look at him, you can actually see the fur, the hair, and You know, you can see a little bit at the edges here, so the chin line, but I don't know. I think Ratchet in this could be slightly hairier. But otherwise, the art's great. The story's fun. It's funny, which is also important, and I really enjoy it. If you like the Ratchet and Clank games, I can't imagine DC has reprinted this at any point, so it might be hard to find. But if you enjoyed the Ratchet and Clank games, I do recommend it. This is one I'm definitely keeping. I still don't know where it's going to get shelved, but that's my problem. Yeah, once I make some space, I'll figure it out. But this is good. I'm glad I reread it, but now I want to play those games again, and I don't think I have the time to do it, but man, do I really want to.